Hey Grand Adventurers, welcome back and welcome to the famed village of Percé, Quebec, at the far eastern end of Quebec's spectacular Gaspé Peninsula. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and I've got to tell you that among our entire season, we're now starting the stretch of the destinations that I've been most looking forward to. We're going to spend this episode doing all kinds of things and seeing all kinds of places in and around Percé, and we look forward to bringing you along as we're camping in this wonderful campground with a view of Percé Rock. So come along. We don't typically film and share our drive from one destination to the next, but this week's travel, from last week's episode filmed in Cap-Jacques, Quebec, to this week's destination of Percé along Quebec Route 132, is just too gorgeous to not do so. This 3.5-hour drive absolutely flew by, thanks to the remarkable beauty along the entire route that hugs the coastline of the Gaspé Peninsula. Most of our drive looked exactly like this. East of Sainte-Madeleine, however, the road occasionally climbs onto the mountains just back from the coast, becoming more twisty and hilly with grades as steep as 17%, leading to some sporting towing. The Cap de la Madeleine Lighthouse makes for a scenic rest stop, complete with a museum, clean public restrooms, and plenty of room to maneuver any size RV. This lighthouse was established in 1871, while the current light was constructed in 1908. You could climb the 55-foot lighthouse tower when it's open, which it was not for us on this Sunday morning. You can even camp with a view in the dry municipal campground next to the lighthouse for $20 Canadian per night, or about $15 US at today's exchange rate. When it's time for lunch, pull into the Cantine du Pêcheur, or Fisherman's Canteen in Cloridon, for some fresh local seafood right next to the docks. It's owned and operated by a lovely local couple who could not have been more welcoming and accommodating. And as expected, the food was absolutely superb. After 3.5 hours of driving that felt more like 3.5 minutes, we descended into our home for the next week, the village of Percé. Percé got its name from this 289-foot tall island just off its shores that was named Isle Percé, or Pierced Island, in 1603 by explorer Samuel de Champlain, thanks to its notable natural bridge that's one of the world's largest natural bridges in water. Today, Rocher Percé, or Pierced Rock, is one of Quebec's most famous and recognizable landmarks. During the 17th century, Percé was used primarily as a stopover for ships traveling to Quebec. Used as a seasonal fishing center during the New France era, permanent settlement began in the early 19th century with the arrival of Irish, French Canadian, and Jersey natives. The village became the most important fishing location on the Gaspé Peninsula after Charles Robin, a native of Jersey, began his fishing establishment. The parish of Saint-Michel-de-Percé was founded in 1801. A complete tourism industry has since developed here, beginning in the early 1900s. North Atlantic right whales, one of the rarest whales, began to concentrate off Percé in 1995, and several companies offer whale watching excursions. There's both a Quebec National Park and a UNESCO accredited geopark located here. And of course, the town's main thoroughfare is lined with restaurants, pubs, and boutiques. We're going to get checked into our campground for a good night's sleep before bringing you out to explore Percé in just a moment. And our restful sleep will be enhanced by our quality RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. Improve your sleep while camping with a new RV mattress from our video sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. They offer 4 different mattress constructions in 21 different sizes, depending on preference and price point. Everything from standard queen to all of those funky, odd RV sizes. Brooklyn Bedding manufactures all of its mattresses right at their factory in Arizona. And RVmattress.com ships them right to your door for free, all rolled up and compressed in a vacuum seal. Just cut the wrap to unroll the mattress onto your bed, then cut the vacuum seal. For our mattress, Brooklyn Bedding starts with a layer of high-density foam for a supported base. Just above the base, an 8-inch core of over 1,000 individually encased coils provides the essential support. Immediately above the coils is a 1-inch layer of memory foam and 2-inch layer of hyper-elastic TitanFlex foam. Finally, at the very top is a 1.5-inch layer of antimicrobial CopperFlex foam with TitanCool, which is designed to maintain an ideal sleep body temperature of 88 degrees. Every RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-night sleep trial. Visit rvmattress.com/grandadventure to get 25% off your entire purchase with promo code GRANDADVENTURE. But wait, act quickly, for Brooklyn Bedding's huge 4th of July sale is going on right now. This is one of their biggest sales of the year, reaching up to 30% off. Don't miss this chance to enhance your sleep quality. Visit rvmattress.com/grandadventure today. For our week in Percé, we're staying at Camping Côte Surprise, right on the southern end of the village, with its $1,000,000 view of Percé Rock. We're in a 30 amp full hookup site, what they call 3 services around here. This is one of our most expensive Canadian sites this season, at $525 Canadian for the week, or $382 US per week at today's exchange rate. That comes out to nearly $55 US per night. But in a tourist town like Percé, and with views like these, the rates they charge here are understandable. There's little doubt that the sites here are very tight, so we're grateful that the campground is still largely empty this early in the season. I had a tough time backing our fifth wheel into the site, as there's very little room to maneuver. And if this place fills up before we depart, I've got a problem on my hands. There's no water access directly from our campground, for it's a sheer 100-foot drop from the campground to the sea. Our campsite also provides a commanding view across the Bay of Percé to Bonaventure Island, which we'll visit later in this episode. We're being treated each morning with a show right from our campsite, watching crews on lobster boats retrieving, emptying, and resetting their pots. It's like our own private daily episode of Deadliest Catch. We can see the observation platform high on Mont Saint-Anne at the Percé Geopark, right from our campsite. So we're going to head out this beautiful morning to get our shot of the most breathtakingly famous view of Percé. Hiking at Percé Geopark is free of charge, although you have to pay to park there. But the parking fee is good for 24 hours, providing a convenient place to stow your vehicle as you explore the village as well. You can pay for a shuttle to bring you up to the observation platform, but where's the fun in that? Instead, we're going to hike just over a mile each way to the top, an elevation gain of around 550 feet. You could also ride the shuttle up and hike back down, as many reportedly choose to do. The route up the Belvedere's trail begins right in the Geopark's on-site dry campground. This forest is thick. Without this trail, it would be nearly impenetrable. As we gain elevation, we're starting to catch glimpses of the town and the ocean below. Before arriving at the observation platform, we're first treated to the views afforded at Belvedere 1. Not long thereafter, we arrive at the observation platform. It'll cost you $15 Canadian, or around $11 US to walk out onto this platform jutting out from the cliffside and cantilevered above the forest below. But it has a unique feature that makes it worth the price. Opened in 2017, the decking at the end of the platform is constructed of vertigo-inducing glass. The Geopark zipline begins immediately adjacent to the observation platform. It's time to head back down, for we have a whole lot more of Percé to explore. When we come right back, following a quick ad break, we're going to get our kayak out onto the water, take in a broad, sandy local beach, sample some local cuisine, and view North America's largest colony of northern gannets on Bonaventure Island. So stay tuned. At low tide, visitors can walk across a narrow isthmus to access the western end of Percé Rock. You can also buy passage on a local cruise boat to sail around the rock. But once again, where's the fun in that? There's one best way to get up close to the hole in the rock, and it's sitting right atop our truck. we're putting in at the half-mile-long coastal boardwalk that connects most businesses in Percé. To be honest, this is a pain, and we subsequently discovered a far more convenient kayak launch on the north side of town. But conditions right now are ideal, and at this late hour, I'll be the only one out there. There hasn't been a cloud in the sky all day. But of course, the minute I put in the water, this thick blanket of high clouds moved in to obscure the direct sunlight. It's the antithesis of what I had hoped for, but in a way, it makes the views even more dramatic. This water is obviously quite deep, for from my kayak's cockpit it appears black as night. Paddling all alone, and knowing that I'm not atop the food chain out here, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little intimidating. Thousands of seabirds, among them snowy gannets, silvery gulls, and black cormorants, have made their home atop this massive hunk of pinkish-orange limestone, and they've filled the skies overhead. Many have built their nests on tiny shelves and crevices in the sheer cliff walls, said to contain about 150 different fossil species. The tide is insufficient to float my kayak through the 49-foot tall hole in the rock. Nevertheless, floating right here adjacent to this massive natural bridge is breathtaking. The erosion of wind and waves that created this hole in the rock, however, is just the beginning. It's believed that at the current erosion rate, this 5 million ton hunk of limestone will completely disappear in about 16,000 years. In fact, when colonist Jacques Cartier first arrived here in 1534, he reported 3 arches at Percé Rock. In time, however, 2 of the arches disappeared, with the last one collapsing in 1845, leaving this separated pillar. With the sun continuing its journey towards the horizon, it's time to start heading back to town. Most of the shoreline here is rocky and lined by sheer cliffs. Those looking to stroll along a sandy beach will find what they're looking for just a few miles up the road at Coin de Bon. Zoe's eyesight may now be nearly completely gone, but she's no less a happy girl. This is the mouth of the Portage River behind Coin de Bon Beach. We're going to follow the river into the mountains a few miles to bring you to another popular natural local site, the appropriately named Emerald Falls. You can hike 3 miles each way to the falls, or you can park a half-mile away. I'm pressed for time today, so where's the fun in hiking 3 miles each way? Instead, for today, all the fun is in driving straight to the parking lot. The trailhead to Emerald Falls has all the attractiveness of a gravel pit because, well, that's precisely what it is. Like most everything in the Percé area, hiking to the falls is going to cost you. This is a Percé Municipal Park, where they charge you $15 Canadian to park. Between his broken English and my broken French, the kid in the fee booth did his best to emphasize that it would take 25 minutes each way to hike to the falls, and there are 140 stair steps involved. Do I really look that old? He also emphasized that I need to stay left at each trail intersection. But trust me, when I say that no one is going to get lost trying to find this waterfall. No one. We've been very lucky with bugs all year, but today is making up for it. I'm being swarmed by the nastiest, most persistent biting black flies. I barely noticed this little guy. He's so exceedingly well camouflaged. I only wish that he'd get to work on reducing this black fly population. and we've reached the steps. Emerald Falls is a modest waterfall on the Portage River that tumbles into a deep, beautiful emerald green pool of water that makes for a very popular swimming hole. What came down must now go back up. Perhaps that kid in the fee booth was right. It's time to get back to camp, to shower up and get ready for a fun evening on the town. When we come right back, following another quick ad break to pay the bills, we're going to visit a popular local brewery and an excellent local eatery, and board a ship to bring us to Bonaventure Island. So stay tuned. As we watch the second thunderstorm of the day blow in, we'll bring you to the next village south of Percé, the fishing village of L'Anse-à-Beaufort. This is not only downtown L'Anse-à-Beaufort, but this is all of downtown L'Anse-à-Beaufort. This is the place to come to quench your thirst, for it's home to Microbrasserie Pic Caribou. Started in 2007 in this former seal processing plant, Pic Caribou was the first microbrewery founded in eastern Quebec. They operate this full brew pub and restaurant right in the heart of Percé. But we'd rather come right to the source here in L'Anse-à-Beaufort, especially when they have such a delightfully peaceful seaside deck. If it were positioned any closer to the water, you'd get wet. The beer was exceptional as I sampled a flight consisting of their Blonde Lance, Amber, Porter, and IPA. But it was somehow, nevertheless, eclipsed by the little bag of delightfully spiced smoked salmon jerky that I purchased to accompany my beer. It's well worth your time to take a moment to stroll around the village of L'Anse-à-Beaufort after you've satisfied your thirst. Quebec is known worldwide for the quality of its cuisine. If fine dining on local seafood is your thing, La Maison de Pêcheur, along the boardwalk in the heart of Percé, is your place. They source as many products as possible from right here in Gaspésie. Reservations are absolutely essential. The cod-laden fisherman's soup was an exceptional starter. While Mrs. GA opted for a fillet, my entree consisted of a delightful combination of fresh lobster meat in Norroy orange liqueur, maple sugar grilled salmon, and pan-seared scallops, whiskey, raisins, and walnuts, served with lobster risotto and vegetables. I left nothing on the plate. La Maison de Pêcheur is situated perfectly for a lovely evening stroll in Percé after dinner to work off a fabulous meal. This handsome building was once a cod processing plant for Percé's once vibrant fishing industry. It's now part of the Provincial National Park located here. I had a chance meeting with a film crew for a Montreal-based French-language children's TV show, focused on learning about animals in their natural habitat, called Le Safari Jaune. They were excited to see my kayak and made arrangements to meet me on the beach the following afternoon. What I didn't realize was that they wanted the kayak alone, without me. No matter, it was a whole lot of fun to watch a far more professional crew work to get a few shots of the show's star pretending to paddle around in my kayak. And I made a few extra bucks from my time and trouble, too. It's Saturday morning, and I'm headed to the pier in Percé to board the boat to Bonaventure Island. I've got just enough time before the 10:30 sailing to visit the local bakery for a chocolate croissant and latte for breakfast. Bonaventure Island sits just off the coast, 3.1 miles southeast of the village of Percé, and covers only 1.61 square miles. There are two companies offering tour boats to Bonaventure Island during the summer months. Both cost the same, and it doesn't seem to matter whose boat you board. It costs 45 Canadian dollars for the fare, and there are no reservations. You also have to pay a National Park access fee of just under $10 Canadian. The ride to the island takes a little over an hour, for they first tour you around Percé Rock and circumnavigate the island before landing. The ride back to town is direct and takes only 15 minutes. No dogs are permitted on the ferry boats or on the island itself. After letting passengers gawk at the rock, the boat turns around and heads for Bonaventure Island. Looking at the word roots, I would have thought that the direct translation of Bonaventure would be good adventure. My francophone wife, however, tells me that a more accurate translation would be grand adventure. I like her translation better. Along with Percé, Bonaventure Island was among the early seasonal fishing ports of New France. Settlers from southern Ireland came in the early 1790s. Peter Duval, a native of Jersey, set up a fishery company on lot number 1 before 1819, and the company endured until 1845. The province of Quebec acquired ownership of the entire island by act of expropriation in 1971, evicting the whole population. At this time, approximately 35 families were all forced to move elsewhere. Later, the province of Quebec grouped it together with Percé Rock into a national park in 1985. Bonaventure Island became a migratory bird sanctuary in 1919 due to the 1916 Migratory Bird Convention between Canada and the United States. Thanks to these boats, it's one of the largest and most accessible bird sanctuaries in the world, with more than 280,000 birds of 218 species and numerous seals calling the island home. The most common bird found on the island is the northern gannet. Although some are here nesting on the cliff sides on the island's eastern side, the vast majority of the colony inhabits the cliff top. Following a quick briefing from park officials after landing on the island, I'm off to the island's other side to find the gannet colony. It's a minimum of about 2 miles each way. Sentier-les-Colonies is the shortest and most direct route. That's exactly why I'm going to take the road less traveled, Sentier-les-Mousses. Less traveled indeed, for I'll only encounter one other couple on this trail. gannets swarming the skies, you know we're getting close. I knew what to expect, but nothing quite prepares you for the size and scope of this gannet colony, containing tens of thousands of birds. With an adult wingspan of roughly 5 to 6 feet, the northern gannet is the largest seabird in the northern Atlantic, breeding in western Europe and northeastern North America. Although there are several larger colonies in the United Kingdom, this is the largest colony in North America. Colonies are mostly located on offshore islands with cliffs, from which the birds can more easily launch into the air. And some have been recorded as being located in the same place for hundreds of years. They're noisy, and the air here is filled with the scent of bird poop mixed with fish. Mated pairs of northern gannets engage in a fencing display when the male arrives back at the nest. It's time to start to head back, and I'm going to make a loop out of it by returning via Sentier-la-Pagette. I'm hearing rumbles of thunder in the distance, and from a quick glance at the weather radar on my phone, I'm optimistic that the sprinkles in the area right now will remain only that. No such luck. We'll take the opportunity to view some of the island's former homesteads as we work our way back to the boat dock. Thankfully, the thunderstorm has pushed through and sunshine has returned. park operates a small cafe near the boat landing with a terrace overlooking the water for dining, and some delicious homemade sandwiches. But here comes my ride. I've got to hustle. Barely made it. We've had such an enjoyable visit here in Percé, and we hope that you've enjoyed coming along with us. If you like this adventure, it's extremely important to us that you give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comment section. Or we always love to hear from you after every grand adventure, which we premiere every Wednesday evening. Now, coming up, we're going to get packed up and we're going to head out to New Brunswick, covering yet another Canadian province. Our next 4 episodes all take place on islands. So if you're not yet a grand adventurer yourself, I can't think of a better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen and ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure. We'd also be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. So until next Wednesday, from Miscou Island, New Brunswick, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.